You're listening to the Marth and Eric podcast. Your ears thank you.
Hello, and thank you for listening to the Marth and Eric podcast. I'm Eric.
I'm Marth.
Today we have a very special episode. We were lucky enough to get
an interview with Jim Lansdale. Jim Lansdale is one of the stars of Killing Bigfoot.
And we got him.
He's on the show.
Marth and Eric podcast exclusive.
Yes. He's also the founder of an organization called the Gulf Coast Bigfoot Research Organization.
Research?
Research.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay, all right.
Not research.
I thought there might be a distinction between research and
Nope,
research.
just me being drunk.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So he's on that show, Killing Bigfoot, and if you are into Bigfoot, you may have seen or heard from this dude because he's been on Fox News, Coast to Coast, which is like a radio show where they talk about like Frankenstein and shit,
Right?
like the Wolfman and Bigfoot,
Aliens
and UFOs, aliens. He's been in the LA Times. And then his show is broadcast on the OLN network in Canada and on Destination America.
Yes.
Which I don't know what channel that is, but I'm sure it's one of the ones in like
there.
the deep 700s or something.
If you're into Bigfoot or murdering things, watch this show.
This show's for you, yeah. Yeah, so that's about it. We could play the interview. We had to have him call in because unfortunately he's in Louisiana, so he couldn't be in the studio. But hopefully, we're hoping that he'll come here in July and hang out with us.
Yeah.
So, you want to play it?
Yeah, let's play it.
All right, here's us talking to Jim Lansdale.
Well, really just you. I'm not. Really
It's just me. But we'll come back. We'll come back after the interview, and we'll talk about it and give our thoughts about it. So.
Sure.
All right, so here we go. Jim Lansdale. Hey, Jim.
Hey, man.
What's going on, man? Could you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. I was trying to figure out. We've never done a call-in guest before. We usually have people in the studio, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. But
okay.
But
I know I've done quite a few of the telephone type of interviews for some of these blog radio shows.
Yeah.
So I don't know the intricacies of them. I just know that I do it.
Well, as long as you could hear me, then we should be okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. So Eric is not here at the moment. It's just me. But I wanted to try to get this done with you because I talked to you earlier, and I know you're on a kind of a tight schedule. But for the people listening who aren't familiar, why don't you tell people sort of how you got into this whole thing?
It's kind of crazy. I told you earlier that I wasn't a Bigfoot believer. I mean, I was skeptic, but
yeah.
After I saw that one that night, I became interested. And as I got into this over the last 20-something years, I've had many reports come in. As a matter of fact, last week I had 3 different people call me about sightings that they had. And south of me, and obviously north of me, I live right below Shreveport. There's a lot of water, a lot of creeks, a lot of lakes, a lot of ponds. And these creatures are everywhere down here.
Yeah, so
they're everywhere.
You're down in Louisiana. Now, like most people know of the populations that are in the Pacific Northwest, like Oregon and Washington and stuff.
Right.
And I think I've heard of some maybe even in the Catskill Mountains, like upstate New York.
Right.
But I didn't know that there was some down south in Louisiana.
Well, that's true. A lot of people don't know that, but they're nationwide. I mean, I don't think there's a state in the Union that hasn't had a sighting, hasn't had a reported sighting.
So
now, I just know what I know from being in the areas that I actively research in.
Right.
And it just simply amazes me how many sightings reports that I've received. I mean, I have people I've never heard of that have seen me on Killing Bigfoot or through a website or know me from a friend of a friend that call me and tell me that Hey, you wouldn't believe what I just saw. And I was telling you, last weekend, I had a friend come in from Oklahoma, and we just more or less just kind of scouted around, scoured the countryside, looking at places that people were telling me about. And we found the tracks, several different areas there. It's really mind-boggling. I mean, I told you the first tracks I ever found, 19 and a half inches long. I mean, what kind of monster do you have that lives in the woods that has a foot that big?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And that was in Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing about it is, I had a guy work for me years ago. He asked me about, you know, did I believe in Sasquatch? And I told him, I said, man, if something was that big, had that kind of print, would be easily tracked. You know, you'd be able to find it.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. They are very difficult to track. They leave little sign, if any. You really have to watch what you're doing. As far as someone being able to track one down, I think that would be impossible.
Yes, yeah. I wondered about that. Like, you know, we're pretty good at catching just about anything. You know, we've come up with ways to catch birds with those fake duck calls and all that stuff, and little decoy things and pheromones and fake smells and stuff. Why do you think that humanity as a whole has not developed a way to, you know, to wrangle in a Sasquatch if they were out there?
Well, there's several things. They have a thought reasoning thought that they go through. They can reason things out like cameras and things. They know, and maybe they don't know that it'll take your picture, but they know that it's odd and that it flashes, so they stay away from it. Same thing with, from my hunting experiences back in 2003, we actually shot one, okay? Down that he was a nuisance animal, been killing dogs. I don't know how many. As a matter of fact, his skin ate my pups and ate him right there.
Wait, you
just had the pups.
You shot a Bigfoot?
So, yeah, we shot him. We set up on him and shot him up. I've been hunting him for a long time, and what we've done, we hunted him from the ground without any success. One reason why we didn't have the proper equipment. And then we started getting a little bit of equipment, and we started using climbers and going up trees. And we put a deer carcass down, and sure enough, one came through, and he belly crawled out, grabbed the deer carcass by the snout, was dragging it back in the bush when the guy shot him in the back.
Did you know what? Did you know what it was when you shot it?
Yeah, he knew exactly what it was. We were hunting them.
So what did you do?
I knew they were there.
What did you do with the body? That's crazy.
We couldn't. Well, that's what I was going to tell you. We got down there. We couldn't find him. We looked. We found a spot, probably about a 20 by 20 area there, just like a circle that red spit up blood and mucus. So I knew it was gut shot, but I never could find the animal. I looked every day for 3 weeks looking for him, and I couldn't find him. And had the blood analyzed at 3 different labs, and he came back, you know, in the grade A family with a bonobos, chimpanzee, orangutan, and gorilla. And we've had several shots. I could have killed female and young, and I won't shoot them. And I won't hunt them.
If you see a female Sasquatch as opposed to a male one, how easy is it to tell the difference?
Pardon me, say it one more time. How easy is it to determine what kind of species it is, what you're saying?
Which gender it is. You said you would not shoot a female one.
Oh, the gender, yeah, because you can tell they're different builds. The male is going to be a big, robust, or broad-shouldered creature. The female is going to be built more or less like a human female. I mean, it's the same thing with the gorillas. You can tell. I mean, the big boy is the male. And then you have the females, which are smaller shouldered. They're not as robust. So, I mean, they're easily identifiable. And we know by track.
Okay.
And we just don't go randomly out and hunt. We scout out areas. And so we know pretty much what animal is in what particular territory and what routes they take. So
you shot a male Bigfoot, and then it basically went back into the woods, and you were not able to find it?
That's right. I looked for 3 weeks. We couldn't find it.
Do you think that it died?
Pardon me?
Do you think it died?
No.
You think it survived?
I don't think it died. The bullet stayed in it. We knew exactly where the animal was shot. We took a metal detector down and shot with steel jacket bullet. We couldn't find anything with a metal detector at all. And I mean, it's about 3 days of this. I think I've seen that animal since then, but he was a lot bigger last time I saw him than what he was when he was shot. He was about a 7-footer, kind of slim when we shot him. There was 3 of them that looked darn identical.
Wow. So you're from the program Killing Bigfoot, and
that's right. Well, the Killing Bigfoot is about our hunts, is what it is. It gives you a general idea of what we do and how we go in and we research areas. And we hunt nuisance animals. You have to understand we're encroaching on their habitat and come up and killing people's dogs or chickens. You name it. Farm animals just don't have a chance against this creature.
So that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, most Bigfoot hunting shows, they don't really reveal their end game, I guess, but I always kind of assumed that if they did find a Bigfoot, they would either just observe it and let it go, or they would maybe catch it and set it up in like a zoo type scenario. But you guys actually want to murder it. You want to kill it, right?
We want to harvest one. That's correct, for discovery. We want to know what it is, exactly what it is. Let me tell you this again. This is for a nuisance Bigfoot, one that comes up, is destroying personal property, that is coming in and killing dogs. I mean, you can imagine if you have a pet of your own and some creature comes around at night and killing your pets.
Yeah, for sure.
That's exactly what we hunt them.
I just saw a video today where an alligator was swimming with a dog in its mouth, and I immediately wanted to kill that.
Yeah, would you want to kill that alligator?
Absolutely, I would kill that alligator in a heartbeat.
Well, that's the same thing we do with Bigfoot. I mean, this lady down has had a little old female for years and years and years. She has a picture. She walked outside and took a picture, and there's some Bigfoot in the picture, plus she could see a little dog. Well, a little dog came up missing about 3 weeks ago.
What is the closest that you've actually come? Was it that time that you shot it and it ran into the woods?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get one. It's just a matter of time. I mean, I've got an area that we're working on now. So I know where there's some, and I know where they're bothering people. When people, let me tell you something. When I get a phone call, a man tells me that his wife and daughter won't come home because of a Bigfoot, somebody's got to go, right?
Right. It's either the Bigfoot or that family, right?
That's exactly right. Well, a man's got his money invested in his home. Well, he just can't get up and leave, So what we have to do, that's what we do. We go in and we investigate and we look at possible areas that we can hunt and exactly what type of creature that we think it is, how many there is. I've got a picture of 9 and one of them in one picture. So you say, well, how many are they? People think that there's just maybe 1 or 2. I'm telling you, I know for a fact they're groups and they're everywhere.
Yeah, you were saying in the beginning of this that they're in just about every state, right?
Right.
So
we've got reports from every state.
If they are in every state, do you think it's one group migrating from state to state, or do you think they really are?
Down here they wouldn't migrate because of the weather that we have. Our weather's mostly moderate. The only time it's bad here is in the summer, which is extremely hot, but they live in the creek holes, inside creek banks, in holes, so it's relatively cool, so the heat really doesn't bother them as much. But up north, where it's cold, they follow, especially mountain ranges, they follow the game. So I don't know if you'd call that a migration just to leave and get out of the cold, or just following the herds for food. And herds do migrate, and I'm certain they follow the herds.
The way that you talk about them, it sounds like you're really just thinking about them more as any other animal, like a bear or like a mountain lion or something like that. Whereas a lot of these shows sort of put the Bigfoot in the light of this like sort of mystical, nefarious creature. Do you not think that it has, these special powers or anything like that? You think it's just an animal that's living in the woods?
Yes, I do. I think that it's more of an intelligent, like the gorilla, the orangutan, and chimpanzee, and the bonobo. But as far as it being anything more mystical or being able to communicate telepathically, but some people think that, I think they have a real vivid imagination. I've been doing this a long time. I've been in areas of activity. I will not go to an area that doesn't have Bigfoot activity. Mm-hmm. So when a person calls me, I have to know for sure, or I won't go. I'm not going to waste my time. Right. I've never been spoken to telepathically. I've got them recorded speaking, communicating back and forth. We've heard that numerous times. It's not a language as we know. but it's communication. You know, people say, well, that's a language. Well, no. Birds communicate back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Is that a language? Or is that communication?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and we can argue every point that they have, but I'm just telling you, people say, well, they cloak, and what they mean, they can disappear.
Right, like
and
shape-shift
not at
or
all.
something like that.
Yeah, they shape-shift. That's crap.
Yeah.
So, the Norse, when the Vikings first came over here, they've been fighting them. You know, they've been here forever.
You think
And the red-haired giants out in Nevada was the same thing, same type of beast. The Indians finally captured and killed them. And what it is with the Bigfoot out in the Pacific Northwest is that they were probably maybe a little different breed than what we have here. I know the ones that we have down here, they're kind of aggressive, a little more vicious. You know, will come up and scream at you if you're in an area that they think that they should be in. See, people will buy these damn mobile homes and move to areas of habitat on creeks and stuff, and these creatures will come up and beat the damn doors off of them and stuff just to get them out because they don't want them in their habitat. And it just scares the bejesus out of people. You can understand why. I mean, when you start seeing faces in your windows, and your windows is 7 feet off the ground, well, you know damn good well that's a very big creature, you know? It's not a myth. It's not a mystical type of creature at all. Flesh and blood animal that bleeds, I know for a fact. I've collected the blood with my hands, so I know. Have I had sightings? I've had more than I can remember. But I just told you earlier, I only go where I know where they are. I won't go if I don't have any idea. You know, it's just a pig in a poke. One area that I went to last spring, I saw 5 little ones. I say little ones, probably from 4.5 to 6 foot tall, and in a day's time. And now I spent the whole day there, and I know what I'm looking for, and I know where to look. And a lot of people don't, and a lot of people don't know how they signal back and forth, and I do. And that's not hollering or hooping or anything. That's just some of the signs that they do.
It's not the tree knocking or anything like that?
No. Tree knocking, they'll tree knock. Tree knocking is a location type of deal with it. They're trying to locate each other, like, for instance, they're hunting or something. And let me tell you this, when they hunt deer or caribou or elk or whatever large stuffed animal that they're hunting, they don't run the joker down, okay? They herd it into an area, and they'll have 1 or 2 that whatever will grab, break its neck, and kill it. That's how they hunt. But no, as far as them getting up running a foot race with a deer, no, they don't do it like that.
You think that they're strictly like omnivores, like they hunt deer and things like that, or do you think they eat berries and stuff like that too?
Well, no, I don't think they're strictly omnivore. I think, they probably vegetation. I've seen piles of blackberry crap that you couldn't cover with a bucket. And grasshoppers, just the hulls of grasshoppers, and they would eat them. I mean, they'll even eat a little of the green pine needle, probably medicinal type of stuff, I would think.
I mean, it sounds like you not only are 100% sure that a Bigfoot exists, but it sounds from the way that you talk about it like it's only a matter of time before you haul one in and, turn it in.
Well, the thing about it is, after 2003, we more or less slacked up hunting like we used to. We used to be real dedicated as far as hunting, and I would spend hours and days and times of doing research and preparing a place to hunt. A lot of deer, I bet all the old deer carcasses down at our deer camp, I'd feed them. I had a spring area that I would feed them. And that's where I would play with them down there. I'd say play with them. I'd prank with them. I'd tie a rope around the deer's carcass, and I'd hang it in a tree. They wouldn't touch it. If I let it down on the ground and left the rope on the carcass, they still wouldn't touch it. But if I removed the rope, it was instantly gone. So I don't know if they thought it was a trap or if it was a signal to them that it still belonged to me or what. Right.
And so you were saying that's what you used to do, and then you took a break from hunting, and recently you...
just now, the last few years, have gotten back into that. And even though we haven't had a shot as of lately, doesn't mean that we won't. We're going to Mississippi next month, and we've got an area there that we've got, I say groomed. It's not groomed, but we've got it ready to hunt. And then I've got several places here in Louisiana. I've got a place in Texas, and actually we have 3 places in Texas now because of Bobby, and numerous places in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma's loaded with them too. I mean, that Comanche Mountain area, quite a few of these creatures there.
Are you ever planning on coming up to the Northeast, like Connecticut, New York?
If I came up, it would be, as a matter of fact, I've been invited up there. Our team has been invited to go to Maine. And there's a lady up there that's having a problem. And according to her, she's having a real severe problem with them coming around her house and killing her dogs. And she thinks that they're chasing her horses and just a bunch of crap, going on that she shouldn't have to put up with.
This is in Connecticut?
But she hasn't shown me any evidence that there was a Bigfoot. That could have been a big cat, maybe a bear.
Yeah.
Maybe a pack of wild dogs. I mean, I would have to see some physical evidence before I went that far.
That's in Connecticut?
No, that's in Maine.
Oh, Maine. Okay, that's not too far
But
from
you
us.
do have, right out of Bristol there's a lady that claims that she has some Bigfoot activity up in Connecticut.
If we ever see one up here, I promise you I will call you. And
Well, make sure and call me, yes, because I told you I'm coming up in July anyway, so
you can come kill it.
I'm going to go to Newtown. I've got a wedding to attend up there, but I would love to get up. I'm telling you, a lot of people misunderstand how beautiful a state that Connecticut really is. The only state that I know that 30 minutes you can be on the beach and 30 minutes you can be skiing in the mountains,
Yeah, it's not too bad up here. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad, really. And,
Well,
yeah, anytime you need me for anything, if I can help you, just give me a call. Okay?
yeah, man. If you ever come up this way, it'd be cool if you could actually come in and sit down with us instead of being on the phone.
I'll save your number, and like I said, I'm coming in July, and I'll be in Newtown, and Newtown's going to be south of you there.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll give you a call. Maybe we can have a sit down. That'll work, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We would love to have you in the studio. I know you got to go, but before I let you go, what is the best way for people to find the Killing Bigfoot stuff online?
Just go to Facebook and find it. Just type in Killing Bigfoot on the Facebook thing, and I usually keep it updated. I've got several people there that help us on the page. I don't put everything up there, and the reason being is it's just too much, and I don't want to clutter it. I've got some pictures I probably should put up there, but I haven't.
But you guys have actual footage that people could watch online too, right?
Well, no, and I'm going to tell you, I saw two Saturday a week ago, okay? And my buddy from Mississippi called me, and he said, well, did you have pictures or video? Okay, I hunt. My camera is a rifle, okay? That's how I hunt.
No, I don't even mean like evidence video. I mean just videos of you guys out doing your thing and like sort of a documentary series.
If you watch Killing Bigfoot, when it comes back on, we're supposed to do some more features here before long. But if you watch that will give you an idea of how we hunt.
Okay. And what TV channel is that on? Where do people go to watch the show?
It's on Destination America, and it's just a rerun. You can go through Amazon and get it for like $2. It's worth every penny of it if you're into Bigfoot. Of course, I don't make a dime off this, so it doesn't matter one way or the other if you watched it, but it's very interesting to watch. It'll give you a good idea of how we hunt, how we set up, and so forth and so on, and it's exciting. It really is.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it doesn't get much better than hunting Bigfoot. So people can go onto Amazon and to iTunes and buy the first season of the show?
Well, it's just one episode, and we're going to start shooting again here in May.
Oh, okay. So there's one episode that you can buy off of Amazon.
Just one episode. That was a pilot, okay? And this is basically what it's going to do. It's going to go into a series. But we don't do all that hooping and hollering and stuff that's on these other Bigfoot shows. And we don't beat on trees. We don't do any of that. Ours, we're more or less, it's not really scientific, but it's scientifically based. We go on evidence. What's really cool is that we break camp behind this guy's house, this lady's house. So my son and the guys drove out that morning. My son and I are going down there to shoot, find a place to shoot. There's a log laying in this turnaround lane. So I told him, I said, son, if you would you please get out and move that so I can turn around and have blown a tire out? He did. And there were Bigfoot tracks inside those guys' tire tracks from about 10:30 that morning when they left. So three of them had walked across the back and walked through their car tracks. And that's what you see when you watch Killing Bigfoot. You see us reporting some tracks. That's real time what had happened right then. And that's what what you'll see with us doing is pulling tracks, finding tracks, getting reliable witnesses that, not some type of bull crap going on. But the people that you see that give us these reports, they're very earnest, very scared at times of what has happened to them around their homes and so forth.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Eric and I will definitely check out that episode that's on Amazon.
Yeah, watch it and see what you think, and then I'll try to give you a call in July.
Okay.
Okay, Mark?
All right, man. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. We appreciate it. And look forward to having you on the show again in July. Hopefully get you in studio.
And I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. Take it easy, man. Thanks.
All right.
All right, see you.
Bye.